I am now creating weekly exclusive content for Patreon, so if you are interested in that, go check out the link down below. And of course, if you want to avoid the random lottery of FIFA points, you want to go straight to the source, buy the players directly, use u7buy.com and use the code TVM at checkout. What is going on, guys? TVM here. Welcome back to the road to glory, or the road to severe anxiety and upset, which is what I like to call it these days. Basically, in this video, there's just a whole roller coaster of emotions from me personally, right? So what you're seeing now is a couple of the packs that I opened at the very end of the French League sort of team of the season before we moved into Ultimate. And yeah, I've not edited this, but I know I packed Osimhen again. So I have 2 team of the season Osimhens, 1 red pick, that's 3, and he was in the team and I was using him. Now, not so much to the point where I don't think I'm going to use any of them. So I have 3 93 rated team of the seasons, one of which doesn't actually count as a team of the season. And of course, I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I ended up building and buying into a team that I used for 4 games and hate it. Don't like it at all. Gonna sell everything that's sellable and then move into something else. Ended up building a team around Kamada, Kostic, Bellarabi, and that man of the match Timo Werner, who actually turns out to be not too bad at all. So I don't know. I'll show you that at some point. Like I said, I'm commentating this without editing it, and it's poor form from me, and I do apologise. It won't happen again, but I want to have a general discussion about a few things, and we'll go through some comments as well. And I just thought it's irrelevant what's in the background gameplay wise. You'll see what I'm talking about. So let's go through some comments first, because I think a lot of people were a little bit annoyed by what I was saying. Like, I got 4 team of the seasons. Technically speaking, I got 5 with Osimhen as well, and I was still moaning that I wasn't getting what I wanted, which in my opinion, I think it's if you're opening these packs and you're not getting what you want, moan away, mate, because that's not what you want. If you sat there and you're like, I'm not getting Mbappe, I'm not getting Neymar, I am pissed. Fair enough, you got to take it tongue in cheek, because it's, you know, we open these and we hope we're going to get these things, but we don't actually expect to get them. If you do, then you're entitled and you need to bring yourself down a peg or 2, right? But I just wanted Savigny, I wanted Aouar, I wanted those sort of mid-range, low to mid-range type of players. I wasn't really expecting to get an Mbappe or a Neymar or a Ben Yedder. I just wanted the 100k players, not the 50k players. You know, I was being reasonable. Anyway, Predaking says that he got Verratti, Marquinhos, Aouar, Slimani, Lallana. I don't think it was worth it, though, as I don't have a club left. Yeah, I don't have a club left either. I rinsed my whole raise and most of my non-raise as well. I did marquee matchups, which you may or may not see during this video. You may have already seen it. I don't know. I got a few things here or there. Nothing too amazing. A couple of things I'm all right with, but for the most part, yeah, not great. A guy that I can't pronounce the name of, I do apologise. Did around 20 or 30, and the best I got was Cavani. That's harsh. To do 20 or 30 and not get a team of the season is unreal. Beware HD, who, by the way, is part of the Patreon. Shout out to him for being an absolute legend. He's also a channel member for 7 months. He's a double legend. Said did about the same, and the best he got was Draxler. Absolutely abysmal, and that's why people weren't happy with me moaning that I got 4, albeit 2 of the same one duplicated. So yeah, Kirk says good work. Hey, good work for you. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you. Alex says he did 5 or 6 and got Mbappe and Kamara in the same pack. We don't like Alex anymore. Hakim B got Atal, Aouar, Marquinhos, the 2 goalkeepers, and Ben Yedder from Rival Rewards. I know that's lies. It's not lies. He's actually being serious because he sent me a picture. He's also sent the web app link to back himself up. I'm going to give that a little heart because Hakim B doesn't lie. He sent me a picture on Twitter and said, look what I got. You know? Billy, I remember for the Bundesliga I did about 50 25k packs and got 4 Havertz and 5 Hakimi and no one else. Yeah. Why did you discard Kamara? You could use him. Andre too. You can, for those who don't know, you can quick sell recover, right? So if you go on the web app after discarding something, you can recover it. I'm not discarding it and getting rid of it for good. I will recover. Maybe that's why people dislike the video. I don't know. You can basically restore it, right? But because I've got a duplicate, I wouldn't be able to open any more packs. So I had to get rid of it. Now, there wasn't an SBC I wanted to do, or maybe there is, but I didn't know which one I wanted. So it's easier for me to discard it, find out what I want to do, open the rest of the packs, and then decide in the future I can bring it back. Use the ones I've got in the club and then restore them. You can only do like 5 restores, I think a month, and then you're out, and then you have to wait till next month till they reset. I believe that's the way it works, but I've not used any, so I can do that, and that's fine. Anyway, let's talk about the anguish that I've suffered in the first 5 games. And it's not because the game is bad, it's not because I had bad gameplay or my team was trash, it was because I'm awful at this game, and I know it. I was suffering in silence last night, literally, because I wasn't able to shout like I normally would do and call the game pathetic, even though it's not the game at all, it's me. There was one game, I mean, I should have been able to overcome it, right? But there was one game that everything fell to him. I think I lost 4-2. It's my first game, actually, and you've probably seen that already. Everything fell back to him. I think 3 of his 4 goals, just everything fell to him. And it was like Thiago Silva scored an own goal. I didn't aim toward the goal. I aimed backwards and he still kicked it toward the goal. Just everything went for him. But that's not the point. The guy wasn't particularly very good, and I should still have been able to beat him, and I wasn't good enough. That's just pure and simple. I'm not blaming the game in any way. Yeah, the ball was falling for him, but that's just FIFA. You should be able to overcome that. Well, you shouldn't have to, but you should be able to if you are a decent player. And unfortunately, for whatever reason, I couldn't do it. I was not able to beat him. And it came down to my ability more than anything else. Now, I've been watching a couple of FIFA coaches, I've been studying tutorials and things, and I felt like I was getting better until I went into this weekend league. The current record, by the way, after 5 games is 2-3, which I think is the worst start to a weekend league I've ever had. That's awful for me. I normally go, at that point, I would normally be 4-1. At worst, 4-2. 3-2. At worst, I would be 3-2. I'm on the wrong side of it. I can turn it around and what have you, but I'm not looking forward to it. I have been looking forward to playing, and I want to get in there, and I want to try and perfect the way I'm defending and attacking and such, and I don't feel very good, you know? Like I said, I changed the team back to having Kamada in the starting 11. I've brought Werner in there. I've got a couple of people off chem. I'm not happy with my defence. I went out and spent some coins on Verratti, who, by the way, is actually pretty good. Thiago Silva, I wouldn't recommend him. I've got him on my main account. I used him once or twice. He felt okay. Picked him up on this account, and he's just not good enough. So I don't like him. I used Rajkovic in the first game, the terrible goalkeeper that I've packed 3 times from guaranteed packs, and he let in the most pathetic goal. You've seen it probably already because I've switched him out straight away. Went out and bought Mandanda, who wasn't an awful lot better. He made a couple of decent saves here or there, but he wasn't that much better. And then in the end, with my German league team, I switched back into David De Gea, and I can rely on. I can rely on De Gea. Ter Stegen is another one of those goalkeepers that I can rely on, but unfortunately, I can't give him the chem. I did toy with the idea of going after the flashback Eder Militao, but I can't really get him on full chem. He would be on 7 chem, Ter Stegen would be on 7 chem, Reguilon would be on 7 chem, and then I kind of thought, well, do I just go and maybe play my Yuri, 89 team of the season Yuri at centre-back to give Reguilon the chem, Ter Stegen has the chem, and then we have Militao off chem, but then maybe we could go and get ourselves a version of Carvajal or a Brazilian right back to maybe give him the chem. I don't know what I want to do. I don't want to go out there and spend all of my coins because I will need them for reviews, but I was very close last night to just going, I'm just pumping 500k into this team and I'm just going to try and buy some players to fix this because I just wasn't enjoying the players I was using. I was blaming them. It wasn't their fault. It was me. I just wasn't playing very well. I was bad at the game. Like that Osman card is very good considering he's 6'9", 6'9" or whatever it is. He feels like he's like 6'7", but he's actually like 6'1". It's really weird. But he's a good card. I like him a lot, and I like Verratti, even though a lot of people will criticize. And that Aouar is still decent even now. But for whatever reason, I just couldn't get on with them. And then when I switched to that Bundesliga team and I had Sabitzer as my centre mid, who was more of an attacking centre mid, but he was actually in a 4-2-3-1 one of the centre mids. He was doing quite well in that position. I can't remember the team in its entirety. I know you've seen it or will have seen it or will see it, but I can't remember what the team was in its entirety. I do know that Bellarabi has a 5-star weak foot, which I really liked, and of course Kostic is really quick, but he comes off for Nani at some point during the game, who I'd love to be able to get on full chem and have in the team permanently, but without starting. The only way to do that would be to start with a lesser player, so just a standard Portuguese silver MLS left back, and then sub in Reguilon at the beginning or something, or Robertson. And I don't want to do that. That was my defense actually. Gomez, De Gea, Robertson, and I think I put Soyuncu's team of the season in there. He's actually not bad. He's got a shadow on him as well, so he's actually not terrible. And we've got a right back. Did I use Trent's Player of the Month card at right back? Maybe. Don't know. Can't remember. The defense wasn't on full chem, but I felt like it performed better. The last game actually with that team that I used, and I know I've talked about it and you may have not have seen it yet, but that game in particular was much better in terms of how I felt during the game. Like, I still felt like I was going to lose it, even though I knew I was better than the opponent I was playing against. But I felt better. At least I thought, well, if I lose, at least I'm using players I know and like. Like, Kamada needs to start. Having him off the bench is nice, but he needs to start. He really does. Him as a cam and Werner up top. And then we've got players with like 5-star weak foot in Bellarabi. And then when Nani comes on, he's got a 5-star weak foot. I feel so much better in attack. And then Sabitzer coming through from that midfield just felt so much better. It was a better fit. So I think what I might do is try and fit those players in permanently. I kind of want to move away from Kostic, though. I'm going to have a look at other left-sided players I can use, because Kostic, even though he is decent, I feel like that 3-star weak foot really does annoy me too much. And I know that I've had Di Maria red pick and I've got this, that, and the other, but if I'm not happy, I'm going to change it, and we're going to see where we are. I know I'm bad at the game, and genuinely, right, it upsets me that I'm bad at the game, because I've spent 26 years playing FIFA. And like, I had it at launch when I was, what was I, like 6 or 7 when the 94 International Soccer came out. And I've had every single version of FIFA, because I was just privileged, I guess. I've had every single version of FIFA when it came out from then until now, and it'll continue for as long as hopefully ever. And I've loved every single one. Obviously, we moan about it and such, but it's football, it's FIFA, and I've bought it every year religiously. And it pains me to know that I'm not very good at the game. And that's kind of why I want to get better at the game, to the point where we can comfortably go into like Gold 1, and I know I'm going to finish 20 and 10. I know I'm good enough to do that. So I need to get to a point where I am good enough to be able to sit down and I can do it without really thinking about it. I don't have to concentrate too much. Obviously, the odd game, you're going to have challenges, of course, because you will end up losing 10. But I want to go into it knowing that I'm generally going to be good enough to win this game. That's the point I want to get to. Whether we get it in this FIFA, whether it takes the next 2, 3, 4, 5 FIFAs, I don't care. I will try and constantly try to get better. Not always going to go for the most meta team and not always going to go for the best players. I can't afford to get the best players half the time. Next FIFA is going to be a big struggle for that, because money is dire right now because of how YouTube is and the world, right? So I'll have to wait and see what happens there. But for the rest of this FIFA, I'm just going to try and work to get better. And if we can't do it, then we're just going to keep trying until we do. And I'm going to get upset about it. I'm going to get mad about it. There are going to be times I blame the game. This is not one of those times, though. I know my losses this week have come from me genuinely not being good enough. That is a sit-down emotional chat about FIFA. I apologise that it wasn't the most exciting episode ever. We had a couple of packs at the beginning, but yeah, those are my first 5 games. 2 and 3 is awful. I need to get better. We need to change this. I want to finish Gold 2 if I can this week. I will accept Gold 3. Anything less than that, in my opinion, has been a failure for me. Let's see where tomorrow takes us, and if you have enjoyed today's video, do me a favour and hit that like button. Consider the Patreon for exclusive content. Link for that is down below. Subscribe to the channel for new, of course. And until the next time, goodbye.
Football Index. The game changed. Download the app now.